Let me put some information out there for y'all. And I'm not telling you who to vote for. I just want you to hear this information, do whatever you want with it, and then form your opinion afterwards. But to everybody saying this is who y'all voted for, Trump's the reason why all of this is going on with SNAP benefits, government shutdown, this, that, and the third. Democrats are actually the reason why the government is being shut down. Is shut down. They're the ones who has voted no 10 plus times to get the government open back up. SNAP benefits, they voted no. Paying essential workers, they voted no. The Republicans are bringing these bills to pass to pay these things and fund these programs. The Democrats are voting no. Why? To use it as leverage. They want y'all to say it's Trump's fault. That's what they want, to divert the attention off of them, put it on Trump. That way y'all don't even realize that they're not for the people. They're the ones that are the reason all of this is going on. They want Trump to go down in history as the president who has had this huge crisis under his term, when they're the ones who are voting no. But they don't want you to know that. Y'all need to understand, the biggest thing about it is that y'all need to understand that while they're voting no to not fund the SNAP program, not open the government, not pay essential workers, while they're voting no for all of those things, they're still getting paid.
Yep.
So everybody else is suffering, but they're still getting paid. Again, this is leverage because they want Trump to go down in history as the president over this during his term to have this huge crisis, when the Democrats are the ones to have been voting no for everything. They just want y'all to continue to blame Trump. That's their goal. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you to switch sides, who to vote for, none of that. I just want you to know the truth and know the information before you go around pointing the finger, because that's what they want you to do. And I'm not the one to fearmonger, but if you got some money, some extra money, you should probably go to the grocery store and load up, because at the rate that this is going right now, November is going to be a wild one.
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up today. I hope all is well with you guys, man. And hey, this brother's absolutely right. And, if you have the ability to utilize your Second Amendment right, I think next month might be a great month to utilize that. I'm not saying that, anything will happen, but it's better to have and not need than need and not have. With everything that's going on, I am thankful that the American people aren't riding with the Democrats on this for the most part. There's a lot of folks they know exactly what time it is. They know who's responsible for the shutdown. And the polls, let you know. Let's get into it. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel.
It hasn't. If anything, it's been helped a little bit. Take a look here, the shift in net popularity versus pre-shutdown. When we're looking at the Republican Party overall, that brand actually up 2 points. That's within the margin of error, but clearly it hasn't dropped. Come over to this side of the screen. Look at the net approval ratings for Republicans in Congress. It's actually up 5 points since pre-shutdown. So what we're seeing here is the Republican brand in Congress has actually improved somewhat compared to where we were pre-shutdown, despite the fact that Republicans control. And that's the math that John Thune and Mike Johnson are looking at is, well, hey, why should we give, and electorally speaking, when our brand has actually improved a little bit?
Now, we say their position is getting better. With whom?
Yeah, okay, with whom? So I think it's two groups that it's so important to keep an eye on. All right, changing the Republican Congress's net approval rating versus pre-shutdown. It's rallying the base for sure. Look at this, the net approval rating up 12 points versus pre-shutdown. But it's not just with the base. It's also with the middle of the electorate. Look at this, among independents. It's up 8 points as well. So we've got a situation here where Republicans with the shutdown are actually rallying their base, but it's also something that's not hurting them with the folks in the middle. If anything, it's helping them with folks in the middle. And this is the type of math that if you're Republicans, you like to see, right? Because something could rally the base but alienate those in the middle, or something could rally those in the middle but alienate the base. But the truth is, we're not seeing that. What we're seeing is the Republican brand has actually gotten better among independents, and it's also gotten better among Republicans as well, that Republican brand when it comes to those in Congress. So again, what's the electoral reason that Republicans would give in at this point?
And Democrats.
Yeah, so as you can see it, obviously those that are part of the base, they see it, they understand it. The messaging has been out there. I think a lot of us understand exactly what's going on, but the independents, they're seeing it. And the thing is that I would say, they didn't show it, but I would say that, hey, you have some Democrats that are like, hey, man, what's going on with these daggone Democrats? And I would assume that although the net favorability might be lower, that net approval might be lower, obviously substantially lower amongst Democrats, I bet it's higher than what it has been in the past. The Democrats are losing the messaging war on this. They're losing the messaging war. The only people that are still riding with these folks and still saying Orange Man bad are people that probably only watch MSDNC. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it moving.
Rich, that those that are keeping the government shut down think that they have the power to make this happen under the guise of their radical left ideology and plans that no one in America thinks is a good idea. What I find also particularly rich, that, by the way, the SNAP benefits are about to end on Saturday. We don't have the funding to cover them. Meanwhile, Chuck Schumer is still getting paid. AOC is still getting paid. The elected congressmen and women are still getting paid. Their security team's not getting paid. The Americans, the 42 million Americans who rely on SNAP, they're not going to get paid starting on Saturday. I mean, this is so incredible that we are at this point in American history and that these people are not opening the government. It's just remarkable.
Okay. Yeah, there's some despicable individuals, but I'm a firm believer that you judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. And I think the American people need to see this. Some of it needs to be felt as well, because there's a lot of people out there, either one, they got their head in the sand and they're like, man, I don't care as long as my benefits, as long as this stuff keeps going. But now it's actually affecting their situation. So now they've had to pull their head out the sand and say, hey, man, what the heck is going on? And then all the people that supported the Democrat Party, they're looking at them like, wait, y'all mean to tell me y'all are holding the country hostage because y'all want to add an additional $1.5 trillion? And those subsidies, y'all could have got this accomplished last year. You chose not to. You chose to wait so you could do this. This lets me know that this was a plan. That they planned this out a couple of years ago. Like, hey, they knew that they were going to lose, and they knew that this time was going to come. And they also understood that this is the only leverage that they were going to have, and they were going to use it. And they don't care about the American people. Hey, again, when people show you who they are, believe them, and judge that tree by the fruit that it bears. You don't listen really to what they say. Watch what their actions are. And when it comes to these Democrats, their actions show us that they don't care about the actual American people. You know, shout out to the senators of Pennsylvania, you know, showing a united front here, coming together. They both have voted. One Republican, obviously, y'all know Fetterman, you know, a Democrat, but he is probably the only or one of the few sane Democrats in the Senate. And it's a beautiful thing to see that they could come together for the betterment of their constituents.
Here we are in Washington, D.C., and it is shut down. But now here, it's both Pennsylvania's voice here in the U.S. Senate, even though we are in a different party. And we both want to talk about why we believe it's so important to reopen this government.
23 days, 12 votes. Senator Fetterman and I have both voted to open up the government. We agree on that 100%. It's really starting to hurt Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvanians, air traffic controllers, border patrol, and also 2 million recipients of SNAP. We've got to get the government open. That's our main responsibility. And I'd say that regardless of what party's in the majority.
So I think our votes are about country over party at this point. And now we have 2 million Pennsylvanians that rely on SNAP. That's gonna stop. And now you can reopen this government and have an earnest conversation about extending those tax credits. You know, we know we're gonna participate in this process. That's why we both vote to open up our government. We're in a different party. We're on the same team for Pennsylvania and our nation.
Pennsylvanians expect it. Pennsylvanians deserve it.
Man, I can appreciate that, because that's what this is supposed to be about, right? It's not really supposed to be about the conflicts of each party. It's supposed to be about the people. It's supposed to be, you know, about taking care of their constituents. And here you have two senators, more or less, showing themselves as leaders of their respective party, but most definitely leaders of their state. Seriously. And they're letting it be known like, hey, it's not us. We care about you. We care about Pennsylvanians. And this is a beautiful thing to see. I wish we had more of this across our nation. And I just want to give you guys a subtle reminder as to why this shutdown is here.
Can you believe that this is why the government is currently shut down right now?
We want you to take some stuff out of the budget that we think is wasteful. And we did. And that upset the Congresswoman. She's entitled to be upset if she wants to. But that really upset the socialist wing of the party. And so we took out, and here's what they want us to put back in. We found that under President Biden, they were spending $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia. We took that out. The Congresswoman says, we're going to shut down government till you put that back in. We found $500,000 of American taxpayer money for electric buses in Rwanda. We found $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. That was in the budget under President Biden. We took it out. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez in the socialist wing, the loon wing of the Democratic Party, says we're going to shut down government until you put it back in. I'll just read you a few more that we took out. They are demanding we put back in. $6 million for media organizations for the Palestinians. $833,000 for transgender people in Nepal. $300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho. $882,000 for social media mentorship in Serbia. $4.2 million. We took it out. The Congresswoman and the socialist wing of their party says we got to put that back in for the open government. $4.2 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people in the Western Balkans and Uganda. I could spend the rest of the afternoon here. We took all that out. It upset Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. It upset the socialist wing of her party. And now that wing of her party and the Congresswoman are threatening all other Democrats and saying, you've got to shut that government down until we get what we want. And part of what they want is to add this kind of stuff back into the bill.
We have to be a lot more rational than this. And I don't care what side of the fence you're on. This is not okay. Spending this money in other countries like this is insane on ridiculous things and frivolous things. Just a thought. Have a great day.
She's absolutely right. And, shout out to Senator Kennedy for calling it out. And we've talked about it on this channel on a multitude of occasions, but it's good to just hear it again because it sounds eerily familiar to the stuff that USAID was paying for, right? These people have said, hey, we have to recoup some of that money back from USAID. We got to. So they're willing to shut the government down. They're willing to allow people to starve, go without paychecks, not be able to pay bills and car notes and mortgages and rents to make sure that they're able to launder that money to fill their coffers for the DNC. I mean, these people are wicked, wicked, wicked.
Hey, you know what? I got a question for the Democrats that used the filibuster in the Senate to push through the government shutdown, because that's what's happening, even though they're blaming the Republicans. There was resolutions that were proposed and you denied them. And your demands in that budget of the $1.2 to $1.5 trillion was wild demands. But you know what I want to pay attention most to is who this affects first, the government shutdown. And that's the military, that's ICE, the same people that are being deployed to sanctuary cities, ICE that is currently pulling out ops to remove people that are here illegally. So this affects their pay first. So did you put wild things in that budget knowing that it was going to be denied and to ultimately stop the military and ICE from doing their job that they were asked to do? Just something to think about. But a couple of those wild things, for anybody that doesn't know, is they wanted tax-paying citizens to pay for sex change operations. I'm sorry, if you got an identity crisis, fix that shit on your own dollar. And they also did not want us to check people who are currently receiving Medicaid. They didn't want us to track back their eligibility through their income. Why not? Why not? So you wanted us to give free healthcare to foreign nationals here illegally, all the way off.
And that's what it is, man. They're literally robbing us and telling us that we should be happy that, they didn't take more from us. We should be ecstatic that we're being robbed by these people. These people are sick, man. They really are, man. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. If you'd like to take the next step and support the channel in another way, hey, join the ARP family, buy your brother a coffee, support the channel via Cash App. Join us Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.